Sometimes when it rains, it pours, especially if you're Microsoft, and this bit of PlayStation news could be a little bit more of that, where Sony is actually taking advantage of something that Microsoft was doing, and they're actually making it better and doing a better job out of utilizing it. And again, Sony is in a much better spot than Microsoft, having won pretty much every generation they were in, slightly losing the PlayStation 3 generation to the Wii, but I mean, who saw that coming? But at the end of the day, now it looks like they're going to take Microsoft's idea and kind of run with it, and maybe even do it a little bit better. And the reason why I would say even do it a little bit better is because, quite frankly, they have the better games. And so when you have the better games, that's something that you can actually kind of run with or whatever. So we might have an idea that Sony might be working on a way to do their own sort of Game Pass, or even some sort of situation with a revamp of PlayStation Now. Now, according to this patent that they filed, they're going to be able to use cached visual assets that are processed by a client device and combined into gameplay video before being presented on display, meaning that there's going to be some cloud compute done on the fly, but they're also going to have a device that's going to be able to use the device itself to work some of the load as well. So remember, back a while ago, it was rumored that Microsoft was working on a streaming device, and the streaming device was going to do some of the rendering work locally, as well as some of the cloud stuff. Because if you look at the cloud stuff, a lot of it is really held back by what's going on with our internet connections and things like that, and especially when it comes to movement. So if you had a box that could actually locally work on your movement with a character, and then have everything else not have to come through an internet connection like that, it would be much more streamlined. But again, that's really kind of asking a lot of people's internet connections going forward, and this would be an interesting thing if they did. But anyway, Sony filed the patent for a method of streaming. Like I said, gameplay of a cloud video game is provided, including executing cloud video game to generate gameplay video, streaming the gameplay video over a network to a client device, the gameplay video being presented by the client device on display during the streaming of a gameplay video, transmitting one or more visual assets over the network to the client device. The visual assets being cached by the client device, wherein the cached device visually assets are processed to the client device and combined into the gameplay video before being presented on the display. So it sounds like some of the assets will be cached on the client side during streaming to help take the load off the server to improve with latency, which is obviously the main issue with things like Stadia and PlayStation Now and Project xCloud. Since if you're living in the United States, you're not even in the top 30 countries for internet. So think about that. And I know everybody's going to go 5G, but hey, we're a while away from that as well. I will link this. This is like Sony taking Microsoft's lunch. No matter what they try, it seems like Sony comes out and does something better. Let me know what you think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Please support the channel. Maybe consider becoming a member. At the very least, hit the bell. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.